Hello YouTube, we're back and we're here with Dan Mason from the team. First week that the Traptrick structure deck is out and he did very well. So I'm going to pass you over. Dan, tell us what you did and what you were playing.
So, first week of the structure deck, so I just had to play the deck itself. I came first place on Friday Night Locals. Going X01, only drawing to Chris, the cameraman. Today, I only came fourth today, going X11, again, drawing to Chris. Apparently Branded is just a hard matchup. And then my only loss was to Kashtira. It was fairly close. It was just game 3, I just could not get enough steam, get enough advantage to just finish the game out. Game 1 and 2 was okay, it was just game 3 was the issue.
And what were your other matchups, the ones that you won?
So I won, like I said, drew against Chris on Branded. I had Naturia Runic, and I ended up winning that. And I also had... I can't remember what the other match was.
It doesn't matter. No, absolutely fine. Perfect. Well, it sounds great.
It was Branded. Sorry, it was another Branded match.
Branded, so you did win. So
yes, I did win a Branded, drew another Branded.
And then,
won against, Runic, Naturia, then, lost to
And then
Cash.
lost to the Cash. Perfect. Lovely. Well, let's have a look at the deck and tell us how it works.
Cool. So we'll go, obviously, main deck first.
Yeah.
So most of these guys we've already had. There's just a couple of new ones. So first is just Traptrick's Mamello. Most of them do something on normal and special summon, but different things.
Yeah.
Mamello is on normal summon, search for a whole trap card, and on special summon, mandatorily it pops a back row. It's got really good interaction for opening up the first turn 1 board with the Link monster, Sarah.
Yeah.
Because she's mandatorily activates on special summon, so it just lets you keep making the board that you want to be making every turn 1.
Cool.
Then we've got 3 Traptrick's Mantis. On normal summon, it searches for a Traptrick's monster. It doesn't do anything on special, but you can, as a quick effect, bounce a back row that you control to then reset any other back row from your hand. It comes up every now and again with Dionea, which when Dionea resets a hole with its effect, if it's still on the board during your next turn, during the end phase, it'll banish it, so it means that you can just reset the card and it won't get banished during the next turn after that.
Nice.
Then we've got a new one. We've got 3 copies of Traptrick's Pudica. Pudica on normal summon, she searches for the new field spell, and which is a nutty field spell. On special summon, it can banish a special summon monster the opponent controls. During the Sama phase after you banish the monster, your opponent can special summon any of their banished monsters. So it's really nice when you're trying to push for the damage that you just can't beat over the monster, but you can then just remove it from the board.
Yeah.
And then if you can
push for game,
it's good, and you can then, so because it specifies you special summon back a banished monster, you can then just set a hole that will deal with it, and with any of the monsters that summon back, and it just removes the monster anyway.
Nice.
Then we've got 2 Traptricks, Arachnakampa. She's got a quick effect to special herself if you control Traptricks during the main phase, so it's either yours or your opponent's. She protects all of your back row from being destroyed by card effects once per turn, but when she specials herself, she does lock you into plants and insects, which all of them are either plants or insects, so it doesn't matter that much for Traptricks. And then 2 copies of Dionea. On normal summon, it reborns a Traptricks in defense specifically, and on special summon, it will reset a hole. Like I said, it then puts the thing on the card that if it's still on the board during your next end phase, it'll get banished.
Perfect.
All of the main deck guys, they're unaffected by holes as well, which sometimes comes up in a mirror match.
Yeah, makes
sense. And then
sense.
we've got the honorary Traptricks, Parallel Exceed. It's just because you have a fantastic Link 1, there should be no reason that you shouldn't play this card. It's completely free. It's just a really nice extender. It puts you making Rafflesia as your 5th summon normally. So I don't see a reason why you shouldn't play it. Now we've got the spell cards. So we've got 2 copies of Pot of Prosperity. This is mostly a space thing, that not playing the 3rd copy, that I don't find that I'm ever going to activate the 3rd copy.
Okay.
And if I do, then something's gone wildly wrong, and I've probably burnt through all of my extra deck, which is, you need the extra deck, so you need at least some of it. And then other spells are 1 Call by the Grave, 1 of the Traptrick Garden, which is our new field spell.
Lovely.
So this gives me an additional normal summon of a Traptrick's monster. I can also banish any monster I control to summon a Traptrick from my hand or graveyard, non-targeting. And it gives my Traptricks once per turn. Sorry, insects and plants cannot be destroyed by battle once per turn.
Awesome.
And a final spell card that I just had to fit in the main deck are 3 Book of Eclipse. It's really good against cash. It's really good against just baiting negates. Like, Dragoon is a real problem for me against Branded specifically. And if I either bait the negate with this or bait the negate with something else and then Book of Moon it, I can then just remove it by another card.
Nice.
So it just helps deal with other problem cards. So now the ever lovely trap cards, we've got for the trap holes, we've got Floodgate Trap Hole as a 2 of,
Yep.
1 Gravediggers and 1 Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare.
Okay.
This permanently Book of Moon's a monster on summon, unless it's being flipped back up via card effect. This says if your opponent activates a monster effect in hand or graveyard, I can negate that effect and burn them for 2,000.
Lovely.
And this is the new one from the structure deck. So it says if your opponent is special summoned at any point during the turn, I can then target 1 monster they control with 2,000 more attack, destroy it, and if I have I believe it's a normal hole, then if I have a normal hole in my graveyard, I can then banish 1 monster from the opponent's graveyard, whatever I want. So it doesn't have to be the destroyed monster. It's just good removal. It's probably the best. Yeah, the best traps, the best holes that we have.
Yeah.
And then other traps we have are 3 Shade Brigandine. I still really like playing this card in the main. It does conflict with some of the other cards that I'm playing, like Go Second traps. So it does sometimes conflict, but it's also a nice side-out card as well. If I know I'm going second, it's probably going to be dead going second, so it's
an easy side.
Yeah, it gives me something else to side out.
Nice.
And then I guess technically another hole, but another Traptrix monster is Holatea. She does the same thing as Shade Brigandine, that she can be activated during the same turn she's set, but I just have to discard another trap, which, I mean, if there's a dead evenly in my hand, then it's free. If I have to discard another whole trap card, I can then, during the turn 1 combo, summon a Dionair to reset that hole, so I don't lose that much card advantage.
Nice.
And then other traps we have, Compulse. Honestly, I think I'm going to cut Compulse. It really didn't come up that much today, and it would have been really nice. So I've been trying to find a way to either fit in Nibiru or Ash or just another good hand trap, probably one of those two, into the main, and it's probably going to be Compulse because it just did not come up at all today and on Friday. So it's as much as I like the card, it's probably just going to go. It doesn't have that. It's not as good in this as it is in Labyrinth. Labyrinth, it's really good because you can recycle your big ladies.
Yeah.
You can't recycling traps just doesn't do enough for you. And then other traps, we've got 3 Imperm, 3 Evenly.
Nice.
Going second cards. The deck really does struggle going second, so you just need something to just completely break the board. Most decks don't have a negate for this.
No.
But they have a negate for like Lightning Storm or something, so this is just the best going second. And it's, like I said, there's interactions with Holatea being able to use it for the discard fodder.
Nice.
So we've got the extra deck next.
Perfect.
So we've got 1 Traptrix of Flasia and 2 of the new one, Ping. Her name is so hard to say, Pinguculia, I think it's something like that.
We'll just call her Pingu.
Pingu, we'll go with Pingu. So we've got Traptrix of Flasia, good old fan favourite. She becomes any hole that you want her to be by detaching material and sending from deck to graveyard as cost. And then this one, you can detach a material to search for any Traptrix monster. And she has a really cool effect, which is actually it's got a fun interaction against Branded, that if any monster is sent to the opponent's graveyard by a card effect or banished by a card effect, I can attach one of those materials to her as one of those cards as material.
Cool.
She has an effect that while she has material, she's unaffected by all trap cards, as well as the effects of monsters that are the same type as whatever she has in material.
Nice.
So I can just attack I could attach a dragon, she's unaffected by dragons. Psychic's unaffected by all the Kashtira monsters.
That's cool.
That's the Traptrix XYZs, and then other XYZs we have are Cowboy, Baguska, Time 3 Doer for the rank 4s.
Yep.
This is good in time. This is also just another nice non-number XYZ for something else I'm playing in the extra deck that has come up once or twice, so I'm probably going to keep it in. Baguska's Baguska Plan B if you need it to be. And the fact that I'm playing 5 traps that are level 4s, making Reader with a trap is
Really good.
very, very easy
Good
to do.
disruption. That's how you out Dragoon.
Yeah, that is a major Dragoon out. So I'm actually playing the FO Utopic package. So it's the fact that you can make it with normally a Pingu and then the Cowboy. I did this against Chris on Friday, funnily enough.
Yeah.
And that extra 800 damage off the Cowboy did come up. That I just turned these two into the FO and then put him on top.
And then you're able to
It's just a
attack
nice
the game.
negate, and he's really hard to get over as well himself.
Yeah, he is.
It does have XYZ, so I do need to play Zeus in the extra deck.
Makes
It
sense.
just I might try and find room for a second copy because it's Cash really likes stealing it if they haven't already stolen the Sarah.
Yeah, makes sense.
So we got Link monsters, we got 2 Traptrick Sarah. I think I need to find room for a third copy of this because either it's a prosperity banish or it's getting banished off the unicorn if I've already used one, so that means I'm just completely locked out of the Sarahs.
Okay.
Other Link ones, I'm just playing a Link Spider. Every now and again, you get stuck with either Shade Brigadine or, well, actually just Shade Brigadine and Parallel Exceed. So if you have just those two, at least you can make a Rafflesia to start your engine in a way. Or now that we have Pingu, you can make a Pingu, search for a Traptrick monster you haven't used your normal summon,
Nice.
and then it allows plays that you wouldn't be able to do before. Link 2, I've only got Orsa. All the Traptricks are Earths, and it can bring back the opponent's Fenrir if I need to. It can also search, if I need to crash it into something, I can search most of the Traptricks.
Traptricks, nice.
So we've got one Link 3, which is the new Traptrix Aspus. She's amazing, and I cannot stress how fantastic as a boss monster. She's just everything she needs to be, and that is she just makes your Traptrix not weenies. As long as you have a trap in your graveyard, so she is unaffected by traps normally, and while there is a trap in your graveyard, she gives all Traptricks an extra 1,000 attack. So all of your guys that are kind of small, they just become really big, and you can just OTK really easily just with her on the board. And then last Link is just access code. You don't really have that many, obviously, like all the other Links are Earths in the deck, so you don't get that many pops, but if you need to, it did come up on Friday, you can banish the access code for its own effect.
Yeah.
Because it can banish from field and graveyard.
Nice. Perfect.
That is the last card in the extra deck. That's
Lovely.
That's the deck as it is.
Well, thank you very much. And I'd imagine, so side deck we won't go into because it's geared to...
Yeah, it's geared for the locals. Like I'm trying to gear it towards a YCS, but it's like, because we have a fairly competitive locals, but there are some things I just have to play that, like, it's never going to come up in a YCS, but it might come up at locals, so that's all I've geared it to.
Nice, perfect. Well, thank you ever so much, Dan. We'll go through that if people want to, but please like and subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, bye.